Welcome to ABC31 News tonight. I'm Scott Beadle. Rapides Parish Schools went into soft lockdown this morning after principals from Alexandria Senior High and Bolton High School received email threats. ABC31's Shar Thomas has the details in tonight's big story.
This has been an ongoing trend since the school shooting in Florida.
Meanwhile, investigators are trying to trace the IP address connected to the email. I caught up with Captain Tommy Carline to see how law enforcers prepare for traumatic events such as these.
We in law enforcement, and that means, any law enforcement agency, take school security very serious. Anytime we have a threat or an indication of any type of situation, just like today, there's an email going around statewide about something that may happen at a school. Us, along with the Alexandria Police Department, are investigating that incident. We can never take any of these incidents lightly. We always have to investigate in case there is an incident or there is something that could lead to a school shooting.
Captain Carline says the email is still under investigation and they plan on having a suspect by the end of the day.
If you know someone who is sending out school threats, contact Crime Stoppers at 318-443-7867.
Shar Thomas, ABC 31 News.
Louisiana higher education officials attended the Board of Regents Campus Safety Conference today in Baton Rouge. Governor John Bel Edwards gave the keynote address. National experts in hazing, sexual assault, and campus demonstrations spoke to university officials from the state's 4 systems.
What's really unfortunate is that we've noticed this year that both schools and colleges, a campus shooting is occurring about every other day now, and some kind of form of this is something must be done to also help the efforts that our universities are doing, because we have an obligation to the city of 40,000 people on our campus to create the safest environment possible, and we take this issue very, very seriously. It's our #1 issue.
Officials from the LSU, Southern University, University of Louisiana, and Louisiana Community and Technical College Systems all attended that conference. After the recent school shooting in Florida, many school systems around the nation are evaluating and updating security measures. Also in Baton Rouge, the legislature's special session to tackle the budget shortfall opened yesterday evening. WBRZ's Mark Armstrong has that story.
When session begins at the Capitol, everyone wants to be heard. Lawmakers, lobbyists, and yes, the governor.
Every step we have taken in preparation for this session is to ensure that we get the job done.
But there are some who enter these chambers whose message is loud, even if they're quiet.
There's a lot of fear for some parents whose services are slated for elimination.
In recent years, Ashley McReynolds and her fellow home disability advocates have been at the Capitol every session.
What we're going to be doing is we're going to be filling out sheets and sending them to our legislators in hopes of getting them off of the floor. Our purpose is to really educate them on what the cuts would mean for people who rely on supports and services that the Department of Health provides.
Governor Edwards says this special session could be the one that solves the budget problem.
If only we can come together to solve the problems that have plagued our state for years.
Look, I thought he was very strong, but when you make the same speech 3 times, he's been here before.
Edwards' ally, Representative Ted James, is less optimistic. He fears House Republicans will deny the Democratic governor a victory.
I'm still not confident. I got here today, and what I'm hearing is my colleagues only want to raise about $550 million and just allow everything else to blow up.
Edwards addressed his adversaries directly.
Let's be honest about one thing. When you say that government should spend less, what you really mean is that government should do less.
Well, I was a little disappointed. He reiterated his doomsday speech.
One of the governor's opponents, Senator Conrad Appel, calls Edwards' promises of budget reform shallow.
The legislature deserves the opportunity to look at the budget. The people deserve the opportunity to minimize taxes to the greatest extent possible based upon what revenues are coming into the state.
Will lawmakers and the governor truly pull off a responsible compromise? Disability advocates certainly hope so.
Let's just fix this so we don't have to continue to come back, that parents don't continue to live in fear.
A constant uncertainty in Louisiana politics.
The Central Louisiana Community Foundation announced a $5,000 grant to the Pineville Fire Department. The grant funds will be used to equip engines with what are called intraosseous drills. The gear will allow firefighters to have faster access to a patient's vascular system during cardiac arrest or major trauma. We're looking ahead to a pretty rainy stretch of weather. Let's get the latest now from meteorologist Ross Whitley.
Yeah, we'll be wondering where the sun went the next 3 days because cloud cover is going to be sticking around, and today was day one of that. We had the shower activity around there earlier, some heavier rain moving in overnight tonight and throughout the day tomorrow. That'll cause our precipitation totals to go up, but it was a warm day out there. 81 degrees is what we got up to. 65 was where our low was last night. That's where we should be for our normal high for this time of year. Should be right around 64, 65 degrees, and of course 42 for the overnight hours. But as we go throughout tonight into the day tomorrow, that heavy rain moves in, and we continue to see it throughout the day. We could be looking at anywhere between 1 and 3 inches of rain, possibly even greater than that in some areas. Of course, I'll be talking all about it coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Ross. The Sentinel Chamber of Commerce held a ribbon cutting for the Girl Scouts of Louisiana Pines to the Gulf earlier today. The event celebrated the opening of the 2018 Girl Scout cookie season in the state of Louisiana. As many people know, Girl Scout cookies aren't available year-round, so it's always an exciting time for the Girl Scouts and for those Girl Scout cookie lovers. They will be available for purchase over the next 3 weeks. Today, Rotary Club meeting welcomed Ramey Graves, the DBA program manager for the Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development. He came to speak on opportunities for small and disadvantaged businesses.
Department of Transportation certifies disadvantaged and small businesses to do work with entities that receive federal funding through the U.S. Department of Transportation. As you know, DOTD does maintain the roads and bridges. We do have a local district here of DOTD that I'll talk about past participation of how many DBE and small businesses have been utilized on the projects here in the Alexandria area and what is coming up in the future.
Graves also touched on job opportunities available in the Alexandria area. If you'd like to learn more about these opportunities, you can contact the Louisiana Department of Transportation. Blue and Gray on the Reds, a Civil War battle reenactment, has been taking place for about 7 years now. It lasts for 4 days with events and activities for all ages.
It starts Thursday night at 6 o'clock. We have a nice food outing at Fort Randolph, and we have a speaker who's coming that night, and then it goes all the way until the reenactment on Sunday when it ends. We usually have about 1,500 kids out on a Friday from different schools in Louisiana, all over Louisiana, and they come out and we give them demonstrations. We have an undertaking demonstration, we have a recruiting demonstration, different things, blacksmithing, so that kids can come out and see what life was like in the 1860s.
Blue and Gray on the Red will begin on March 1st and last until March 4th. You can visit the Alexandria Pineville Area Convention and Visitors Bureau website for more information. For 3 days, groups of 6th graders had a chance to learn about bugs, drones, and nutrition. The LSU Ag Center was showcasing the many career opportunities available in agriculture. LSU Ag Center correspondent Craig Gautreaux has the story.
Clothing made from alligators, drones flying through the air, and crawling giant cockroaches were all part of 6th grade days, an event organized by the LSU Ag Center to show the diverse careers related to agriculture. Shiloh Judd, a graduate entomology student, saw it as an opportunity to educate students about insects.
People think bugs are scary, they're dangerous, and some of them are, but we'd like to point out to the kids today that there are good bugs and there are bad bugs, and hopefully show them which ones are which.
Hannah Johnson, an LSU College of Agriculture undergraduate student, spent her time telling students about her experiences in the college. For those students who answered her questions correctly, they were rewarded with flavor-infused crickets, which the students willingly ate.
I'm actually an agriculture education major. I love children. I like informing people, especially about agriculture. I'm very passionate about agriculture as well as the issues.
The event allowed students to learn about agriculture outside the classroom, but that information reinforced what they were learning in the classroom.
My kids have had the most fun creating the food chain. That's something that they're studying in classes, so they get to implement it here in real life, and I appreciate that experience.
Nearly 2,500 students attended the event, which also included visits to other colleges on LSU's campus. With the LSU Ag Center, this is Craig Gotro reporting.
Other events similar to 6th grade days are held throughout the year to introduce students to career opportunities in agriculture.
Love, marriage.
My husband was wonderful.
And murder.
Cheryl, I know what he is capable of, and I just don't want him dead.
True stories without a happily ever after.
Is she okay? She's dead?
Who does that?
It's about as evil as it gets.
I like to report a murder.
All smiles while she was still on the scene of her husband's murder.
How do you explain that?
All this February, Love Gone Wrong. Crime Watch Daily.
Weekdays at 3 on KLAX TV.
Starting things out with our current temperature and what's going on out there. Well, it's partly sunny and it is breezy. Talked about the wind yesterday and again today. More of the same setup here. The wind out of the south at 16 miles per hour. This will actually switch tomorrow as cooler air tries to filter in. Not going to make it, but it will try to get in here. Our temperatures will be a touch cooler tomorrow, mainly due to the heavy rain. We do have showers in and around the area and have been there all day long. Partly sunny skies continue and will be that way as we go throughout the rest of tonight into tomorrow morning as well. Partly cloudy with that shower activity and some heavier rain moving in as well. Cloudy, very warm, some fog out there late, 68 degrees out there tonight. A shower or two can't be ruled out, and some heavy rain coming in by tomorrow morning. Checking out our radar and satellite here and the overall setup. You can pick out the radar underneath the temperature graphic, and I'll get to it in just a second. Even a couple of thunderstorms showing up, but I just wanted to show you where that cold front is. Sharp line right there that's pushing down toward Dallas and eventually moving that rain into our direction, but this will stall out, and as we get a better look at our radar, see exactly where the rain is. Some heavy thunderstorms even causing a flood warning out for the Dallas metro area. Here locally, we've just watched these little spotty showers and even occasional thunderstorms move off from the south to north following that wind direction. You see a heavy line of storms just off to our west on the other side of the border there. And one little heavy shower tried to make it through, but majority of the state is dry at this hour. And we'll see those showers eventually moving in for the day tomorrow. Starting Futurecast here, so by 8 a.m. we see that line of heavy showers and thunderstorms really hasn't progressed too far off to the east. But as we go throughout tomorrow afternoon, we'll see this heavy rain moving through all the way until about 6 p.m. You notice the showers and even some heavier downpours still rolling in. And even still, at 6 p.m. tomorrow, the majority of the rain still off to the west. So that's where that frontal boundary stalls out, and the heaviest rain will be from Alexandria points to the north and west. As you go further south and east, the less rain will fall. Tomorrow, rain periods of thunderstorms as well, and more of the same in our forecast as we go throughout the next 3 days. That's why we're looking at anywhere between 1 and 3 inches of rain by the time this all wraps up on Friday. Overnight tonight, a rain or thunderstorm. And that carries into tomorrow, 75 degrees. The winds out of the south-southeast at 5 miles per hour. Extended forecast here. Next 3 days, wet, but we do dry out by the weekend and a little bit cooler to start things off next week. Scott?
All right, thank you, Ross. Illnesses like the flu are contagious, but could weight be contagious as well? With more, here's our Let Signs.
Could a baby catch obesity from an overweight mom? Researchers looked at more than 1,400 pairs of mother and child and found that mothers who were overweight during pregnancy are more likely to have overweight babies. Surprisingly, the type of delivery, C-section or vaginal, also mattered. They compared vaginally delivered babies of normal weight moms to babies of overweight moms. They had a 3-fold risk of being overweight at age 1. C-section delivered babies of overweight moms had an even higher risk, a 5-fold increase in risk of being overweight by their first birthday. When it comes to pre-pregnancy weight, it could be more contagious than we thought.
Heavy rain to deal with over the next 3 days. Remember, turn around, don't drown if you come across a flooded roadway.
Thanks, Ross. Thanks for joining us. Have a good night.
This February, Dr. Oz holds their feet to the fire. Scammers,
sex offenders, big business.
Nothing more than junk food in disguise.
Investigating controversies, exposing the truth.
Do you know where your hamburger meat really comes from?
I've taken Uber many times, and I just remember thinking, am I going to die tonight?
Nothing is off limits.
Watch Dr. Oz weekdays at 11 on KLAX TV. Stay connected with KLAX ABC31. Visit us online anytime. Get today's top stories and trending topics. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. See our pics on Instagram. Watch us on YouTube. And make KLAXTV.com your home for local news and information. Plus, download the KLAX weather app for your smartphone or tablet. Get live current conditions, radar maps, alerts, and more. More ways to stay connected with KLAX TV.